Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share my top 5 tips for purchasing your first luxury handbag. And I know like these designer handbags really cost a pretty penny, so we want to make sure we pick the right ones for us, the ones that work for us, the ones that are going to have longevity in our closet, the ones that are going to have really good quality and, you know, a lot of use cases, all of that good stuff. So these are my top 5 tips for really navigating this complex and ever-growing world of luxury handbags to help you pick the best handbag for you so that you can minimize your chance of sort of making a mistake. If you're tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to make these luxury handbag videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so that we can all mindfully curate our own collections. So if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your favorite part. Your support really means a lot to me. I also realize that a lot of you may have already started on your designer handbag journey. You may be building out your own collections already, and in doing so, this video might not seem so relevant. But I feel like these tips still apply if, let's say, you had like your little Gucci collection and you wanted to buy your first Dior bag or your first Chanel bag. I think they can still help guide that decision-making process. My first tip is to buy a classic color. Now, classic color doesn't necessarily mean it has to be black, but knowing the color palette of your own wardrobe will help you figure out what the best classic color will be. So this is really about taking a look at your wardrobe, understanding your wardrobe palette, having some sense of your personal style that will help you figure out whether a black or a brown or beige, maybe a gray or even navy could be a better fit for your wardrobe and would match with a lot of pieces in your closet. I mean, you can also look at the other handbags that you use on a daily basis and get some and see what color tones they are. But this will ensure that you're able to really use your handbags any day of the week with majority of your outfits, and that's how you get a lot of use out of your handbag. Every season, it's always tempting to get the limited edition color or the new trendy color that's out for that season. And for places like Chanel, it's always like, oh, this is a seasonal color. This is the only time they're going to make this color. And it feels like, you know, if you fall in love with that color, you have to get it then. But trust me, there will be another time where they make a yellow handbag or an orange handbag. Like there will be another time. There's always a pre-loved route to be able to find some of those pieces as well. So I would really recommend that you stick to a classic color that's going to be classic to your wardrobe for your first luxury handbag. Along with the classic color is more of a classic silhouette. It doesn't mean that it absolutely has to be, like for Chanel, has to be a classic flap, like nothing else is considered classic. There are bags that will have a lot of those classic elements to them that will lean classic enough that you'd be able to wear for a long period of time. So it's not so much that, but it's more about also those like limited edition kind of special pieces or highly embellished pieces and things like that. I would avoid those if you're looking for a handbag to wear like on a pretty much daily basis, because when they get that kind of flashy, it's harder to wear those on a daily basis. So as pretty as they are to look at, I think a classic color, classic silhouette is really the best place to go. My second tip is to know how much you carry. Realistically, how much you carry and what you would want to put in your bag on a daily basis. I say that because let's say right now, for a while, actually for many years now, mini bags have really been a huge trend, and bags have been getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And so take a classic mini from Chanel. It is a classic silhouette. It's in a mini size, fitting in with the trend. But if you're someone who typically carries a lot more than what's going to fit in a mini bag, then that mini bag starts to turn into an occasion bag for you because you can't always wear it. So despite what the trends might be, understanding how much you typically carry and how and your sort of your sort of way with handbags. Like, are you someone who's like super organized and like you're okay like Tetrising in your bag to make sure everything fits? Or is that really going to annoy you? Would you rather be able to throw everything in there and then be able to grab whatever you need from inside of your bag? You'll know the tendencies that you have, the preferences that you have. Like, stay true to those when you're looking to figure out like what size handbag you want to get. It's always tempting to get what feels like it's in right now, but if it doesn't fit you and work with your lifestyle, your work style, then it's not going to work for you. You're not going to gravitate towards using that bag a lot. So definitely make sure you know how much you want to carry. My third tip is to pick a leather finish that you like. I think this is where I might differ from some other opinions. So it might be an unpopular opinion, but I really think that you should pick a leather finish. Well, it could be a fabric piece as well. So whatever kind of finish that you like. A lot of times people will say, oh, for Chanel, get caviar over lambskin because caviar is much more resilient. And you know, if you're looking for a daily bag, get like a Prada Saffiano because that leather is like really scratch resistant. Or get, you know, your Louis Vuitton canvas because that's also really scratch resistant, hard wearing, long lasting, and all of that stuff. I know that's all really, really important. Let's just take Chanel for example. If you're somebody who likes Chanel lambskin, go for it. At least for me, I have to really like something to want to wear it, and it's yours. Like, you're the one who's going to be wearing it. If you really like lambskin, I don't think you should make yourself get a caviar bag just because it's going to be more scratch resistant, because you're going to love your lambskin piece because you know you used it that much. You loved carrying it all the time. You loved the feel of that lambskin every time you used it. That's going to bring you more joy than the fact that you'll have fewer scratches potentially because you got a caviar piece. Get the finish that you like. Just understand certain finishes will definitely have a lot more maintenance associated with them. So like suede, velvet, satin, I know those are fabrics, but still, velvet, satin, and like patent leather are a bit different. Like, they're going to require a lot more maintenance and kind of looking after to make sure that there's no color transfer and stains or things like that. Even with that in mind, if you love the way that it looks or you love the texture of suede and then go for it. There's no need for you to not have to get that because you're afraid of some scratches or potential wear. Like, wear will happen. These are handbags after all. They are meant to be like a utilitarian piece, and you know, it's not pure decoration, right? So get the finish that you like. Just understand that certain ones might need a little bit more TLC. And if you're up for it, then totally get that. My fourth tip is to purchase in person. Of course, this is as much as it's actually possible for you to do so. I know we can do a lot of research on like YouTube and the internet, and you can see pictures of things against people's bodies and all to get relative size reference. I mean, the internet has made information a lot more accessible where you don't always have to go to the boutique and try it on yourself. However, every body is a little bit different, and sometimes, I mean, I've noticed this has happened to me. Like, I have this notion of what I think this bag's going to look like on me, and I like have all these dreams, you know, about, oh my God, how perfect it's going to be in my life, and like it's going to be perfect, it's gonna look perfect, like everything's gonna be perfect about it. And then I go and I actually see it in person and I try it on myself, and like it doesn't lay right on my body. Or like the strap's a little bit shorter than I thought, or you know what I mean? Or it's longer or something. Like, where it just doesn't live up to the dreams in my mind, right? And that's totally possible, especially if this is going to be your like first purchase. I definitely think it's helpful to go in person so that you can try it on. You can always try on another size just to make sure that you're making the right decision. And then this is also where you can check, let's say, the lambskin versus the caviar, and you can realize that the lambskin might not be as delicate as you thought, or you might think something is too stiff for your liking. Like, you know, actually being able to handle and try these on in person is going to give you a lot more data to make the right decision for yourself. And also, buying luxury, it's not it's not just about getting the item, it's a whole experience, right? Like your handbag, it's not just a commodity. You're there to really have that whole experience. So as much as it's possible, I really think it's best for you to go in person to get your first bag. And my fifth tip is to just go for it. I mean, I have so many friends who sort of get stuck in analysis paralysis and thinking about whether they're going to still wear something 10 years, 20 years from now, whether they'll be able to pass it down to like their granddaughter or something. And like, these are all valid points and things that we want to consider, of course, but there's a lot of time between now and then. You know, I tell my friends not to put too much emphasis on whether or not something can happen in the future. Who knows? Now, you know, we also don't want to focus too much on just right now and impulse buy and only think about now and not think about the future, right? But I think there's a place in the middle between those two extremes where you can think about it for sure and consider some of that, but you know, just go for it. Try it, because even if it doesn't work out, it now serves as more information for you to make a better decision next time. It's all a learning opportunity, so it's not like lost. Now, of course, there's money involved in it. It's a lot of money, and so, you know, I don't think anyone should necessarily hastily go into any of those decisions. But we're also, you know, not talking about buying a house or, you know, figuring out the right healthcare procedure that you need. You know what I mean? Like, there are bigger decisions that we have to make in life. So I think it's best that we, you know, save a lot of our decision-making energy for when we have to make those kinds of decisions. If the only hesitation you have is the potential concern that you might be making the wrong decision, then I say go for it. But if you go see something in person and like your gut's telling you something's not right, oh, then walk away from it. Like, take a moment. That's your subconscious telling you something that you can't quite put your finger on it. But if you let it marinate, like, it'll come to you. You'll be like, oh, I know why. And then it might actually steer you in a different direction entirely. You might be like, okay, actually, that's not a good style for me. Let me look at something like this. All of those experiences will end up, you know, helping you make informed decisions faster in the future, right? So go for it. If it's a style that you like, if it's a style you want to try, if it's a style that you feel like it's going to work with you and you feel like you love it, go for it. If you love it, you'll wear it. Regardless, you will wear it. You will find an excuse to wear it. You know what I mean? Like, if you love it that much, you will. So if it makes your heart sing, it's probably the right one. Doesn't matter what I'm saying either. It doesn't matter what anybody else might be saying at that time. So just go for it. So I thought it would be a little fun if I snuck in a little snippet of my first luxury handbag. Ta-da! This is my first luxury handbag that I had, or that I bought. And, you know, this is what sort of started it all. I mean, I had a lot of handbags before that too, not going to lie, because handbags was my thing. But this was like the first like luxury brand that I was like, ooh, like I'm actually going for it. I'm getting something. So this is a Miu Miu. Ooh, I don't even know if I remember the name of this style. But it's in a red color, so you might be like, oh my gosh, you said to buy it in a classic color. And I actually consider red to be a classic color when it comes to handbags, because I'm someone who likes to have a bag that adds a little pop of color. I wear a lot of black, a lot of all black outfits and things like that. So sometimes having a black bag can be a little too much. That might be the look I'm going for, but if not, it could be a little too much. So that's why I opted for a red bag. I mean, Miu Miu still has this heavily kind of, is it ruffled? Style. It's like still really in with their brand identity. But I think this exact style is now discontinued. I wore this to death, guys. Like you can see, I don't know if you can really see like how dirty some of it is, but, and I used to clean this one once a year, but this fits a lot. It looks like it's a small bag, but it actually fits a lot in here for me, because I don't always carry around a lot. So I mean, I remember on a day where it wasn't raining, but there was forecast for chance of rain, like I could fit a small umbrella and my wallet and my makeup pouch, like and a whole bunch of things in here. And then I was like, wow, I don't even need any, like nothing's in my hands right now, because everything fit in this like tiny but mighty guy. So this is my first handbag. All right, so that's everything. Those are my 5 tips for making your first luxury handbag purchase. If you have any other tips that you think are good to consider, I think I would say definitely leave them in the comments down below so other folks can read those as well. I love when we can all share more information because knowledge is power. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video and you found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time, bye!